In the wake of a wondrous rainstorm wherein droplets danced like dainty fairies upon the verdant blades of grass, the skies didst unveil a spectacle most splendid, radiant rainbows arching with audacious aplomb across the azure expanse. Zephyrus, that whimsical wind-wielder, found himself enraptured by this chromatic cascade, for he had oft been taught by the merry sprites of hue and tint. These mischievous beings, with their capricious chuckles and kaleidoscopic capes, imparted to him the arcane art of colour theory, a craft both curious and confounding. "Lo! Attend thine ears to my tongue-twisting tales," cried Zephyrus, as he summoned forth his newfound knowledge. "Red is raucous, roaring like a ravenous beast. Blue is brooding, basking in melancholic musings." With each utterance he wove a tapestry of absurdity, where colours possessed personalities more exaggerated than a jester's jest. "Yellow is yonder youthful yowler, green gallivants gleefully." Thus did he prattle on, each phrase punctuated by peals of laughter that echoed through the air like enchanted chimes. Yet amidst this merriment lay deeper truths hidden within hues, arcane facts that whispered secrets to those who dared listen. "Forsooth, didst thou know that colours could conjure emotions? The very essence of red could ignite passions fierce enough to rival a dragon's breath. And blue? Ah, it could soothe even the most tempestuous soul as if cradled in the arms of a gentle zephyr. Such was the magic woven into every shade and shimmer. It was not mere pigment, but potent enchantment. As Zephyrus revelled in his revelations, he stumbled upon an ancient scroll tucked away in a nook most obscure. Its parchment was brittle with age, inscribed with runes that shimmered like starlight caught in twilight's embrace. "What ho! A spell most peculiar!" he exclaimed with an exaggerated flourish. The incantation promised to blend colours into new forms, an alchemical amalgamation that could birth hues hitherto unseen. "A spell to summon cerulean crimson or emerald indigo," he mused with glee. But lo, as he prepared to utter this newfound incantation, a sudden gust swept through the glade, a tempestuous twist in fate. The rainbow sprites appeared before him in a flurry of colour and chaos. "Nay, beware thy words," they chimed in unison, their voices ringing like silver bells. "For such spells can lead to calamities unforeseen, colours clashing and crashing like titans at war." With sarcasm dripping from his lips like honey from a hive, Zephyrus retorted, "O dear sprites, dost thou fear my flamboyant flair? Surely I can wield such whimsy without wreaking havoc upon this world." Yet deep within his heart lingered doubt, a flicker of uncertainty about tampering with forces so profound. Determined yet cautious, Zephyrus decided to test his spell under the watchful gaze of his colourful companions. He gathered vibrant pigments from nature's palette, petals plucked from flowers bright and berries bursting with juice. With each ingredient added to his cauldron, a bubbling brew of brilliance, the air thickened with anticipation and trepidation alike. As he recited the incantation with fervour befitting a bard at court, something extraordinary transpired. The colours began swirling together in an ecstatic dance. But instead of creating new shades as intended, they erupted into a dazzling explosion, a riotous display that painted the sky anew. The very heavens transformed into an iridescent canvas where colours collided and coalesced into forms both bewildering and beautiful. In that moment of chaotic creation emerged an unexpected twist. From the maelstrom arose not merely new colours, but creatures born from pure light, glimmering beings who flitted about like fireflies caught in moonlight's embrace. They were guardians of colour itself, sentinels tasked with preserving harmony among hues throughout realms known and unknown. Thus did Zephyrus learn an invaluable lesson. Magic is not merely wielded, it is revered and respected. With newfound wisdom bestowed by radiant rainbows and their sprite guardians, he vowed henceforth to tread lightly upon paths paved with pigments divine, to teach others not just about colours, but about balance within chaos. And so ends our tale for now, of Zephyrus's whimsical wanderings through worlds woven with wonderment, where laughter mingles freely amongst lessons learned beneath vibrant skies aglow. Chapter 14. The final frivolities before farewell feasts. As the sun sank low, casting a golden glow upon the whimsical world of widdershins, Zephyrus, the wayward wizard of witticism, found himself amidst a cacophony of jubilant jays. These feathered fiends, notorious for their culinary catastrophes, flitted about with fervour, preparing for the farewell feasts that would mark the end of his enchanting escapade. "What a splendid spectacle," he scoffed with a smirk. "A banquet fit for beasts and blundering buffoons." In this curious corner of creation, where magic mingled with mirth and mischief reigned supreme, Zephyrus pondered upon the peculiar lessons he had imparted to his newfound friends. With a flick of his wrist and a flourish of flamboyant flair, he had taught them spells both silly and sublime, like the infamous foul fiddling fiasco, which turned ordinary birds into virtuoso violinists. Alas, the Jay's attempts at symphonies resulted in cacophonous clamour that could curdle cream. Yet amidst the absurdity lay an arcane truth. Magic was not merely about conjuring chaos, but rather about cultivating camaraderie. Each spell shared was a thread woven into the tapestry of their collective experience, a delightful dance of discovery that transcended mere trickery. To teach is to touch, he mused sagely, and to touch is to transform. As Zephyrus prepared for his final performance before parting ways with these avian acolytes, he felt an unexpected twinge within his heart, a sensation akin to nostalgia mixed with an insatiable itch for adventure. He resolved to unveil one last spell, one so spectacularly splendid it would leave even the most sceptical jay agog with awe. "Behold," he bellowed dramatically, "the spell of spectacular splendour." With a flourish befitting a bardic buffoon, Zephyrus began to weave words like wisps of smoke. "By whimsy's will and wonder's way, let all who gather here today be graced with gifts both grand and gay." As he spoke these incantations, sparkles swirled around him like fireflies in frolicsome flight, but lo, a twist awaited him. His spell took an unexpected turn. Instead of bestowing wondrous gifts upon his audience, Zephyrus inadvertently summoned an army of enchanted eggplants. These purple produce pranced about in pirouettes and performed perplexing pas de deux that left the jays bewildered yet bemused. "Eggplants? Truly!" Zephyrus exclaimed with mock exasperation. "I sought splendour, instead I've sown salad." The jays erupted into raucous laughter as they witnessed this vegetable vaudeville unfold before their very eyes. In that moment of absurdity and hilarity, Zephyrus realized that perhaps this was indeed the lesson he needed to impart. The joy found in unpredictability and laughter was far more potent than any polished spell or perfect potion. As twilight descended upon widdershins and shadows danced beneath the moonlit sky, Zephyrus bid farewell to his feathered friends. With hearts lightened by laughter and minds enriched by magical mischief shared, they gathered around tables laden with dubious dishes crafted by their culinary calamities. Together they feasted on fancies both fantastic and frightful, an unforgettable farewell filled with frivolities. And thus concluded Zephyrus's journey through this whimsical world, a realm where teaching magic meant embracing chaos and celebrating silliness as sacred sorcery. With a twinkle in his eye and a chuckle on his lips, he stepped forth into the unknown once more, ready for whatever delightful absurdities awaited him beyond widdershins.